What is up, guys? We are out on the ski. Me and my boy Jake.
What's happening?
We started ripping around here, seeing some frigates, seeing a lot of birds, and unfortunately the spot we're diving is some massive wrecks way offshore in some deep water, and we're seeing like boiling up at the surface. So the current is going to be absolutely ripping, but we're gonna see what we get into, probably some pelagics. I'm gonna do some voiceovers, talk you through it, and then I also have something special for you whenever I package up those fish that we spear. Fingers crossed we get them. I'll see you guys down below. Welcome underwater and welcome to the voiceovers. And now this is just a straight run through of these clips. Like, I haven't pre-watched this or anything, so as you guys are watching is what when I'm talking, and it's the same thing. This is me watching this footage for the first or second time, and I just want to kind of give you an overview of what I'm rocking with here. When I'm using the jet ski, this big kind of parachute thing is called a drift sock, and when there's a little bit of wind, it kind of pushes the jet ski, so I have this drift sock holding the jet ski against the current, and I'm just tying a little knot in the float line that holds the flashers, and I'm just clipping that drift sock to that. And the gun I'm actually using is that Timberline 120 roller. Again, it's like one of the most versatile guns, and I love it. So if you ever want a recommendation, either there's like 3 tiers, like the Timberline is tip top, there's carbon barrel 120 rollers, and then there's also aluminum 120 rollers, all Rob Allen's, all kind of use the same mechanism and everything like that. But you see, what I did was I keep everything together. The drift sock is there with the flashers, and that's the whole setup. And the flashers aren't really there, like, I mean, they just hang out there. Sometimes we don't even use them. They don't have any effect sometimes, but it's always good to have them in case there's one of those pelagics that are cruising the surface, like mahi or wahoo, or even kingfish. They come cruising in, they might see the flashers, get attracted to it, and we make a quick duck dive and make a pop on them. But we're also at the same time making deeper drops, just like on this one. I'm heading down, and you can see that giant shipwreck that we're on, and the viz is just crystal clear. There's a ton of life, but not a ton of fish that are shooter fish. And usually I see some cuberas or something scurrying around the surf or around the bottom, but nothing on this dive. But I do see off in the distance, as I'm like kind of scanning everything, right about now, at the top of the screen, that's a yellowtail. And usually they're kind of hard to creep up on, but this guy looks really friendly. I know he's not going to give me the time of the day, so I took a kind of a healthy, safe shot, and I aimed right for the head. I ended up hitting him right through the gill plate. Dinner on the table. I know that we're not going to go hungry, and I at least have my dinner, but this is just the beginning of the day. We get on some serious fish, and it really is just an amazing day, so stay tuned for all that. Yeah, all the time they give you a look, and then you get a shot that holds. Whew. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, good little guy. That's awesome. That's the way it started. Fill up the bag, bro. Do it. Fill up that bag. Yeah. Bro, the current is popping. That's nuts. We got over that wreck quick. So I already have it established in my mind that I'm going to whole cook this thing. Step number 1, you want to scale it, and you just get a knife, scale the opposite way the scales are actually facing, and I want to make it a little bit cleaner, so I go ahead, I obviously gutted it. All of you know how you gut fish just from my previous videos. I bleed it, but I'm also taking out the gills, and you just cut the top of the gills. You pretty much just rip them out. I tried to rip them out, but then I just decided to use the knife a little bit. Might be able to, oh, actually, never mind, I didn't. You just twist and pull out, but just that front part where it attaches to the bottom lip, it's really tough to get a hold on that. All right, so the deep wrecks did not have anything of super quality. I did get that one yellowtail. Those things are absolutely delicious, and I have something special. I semi-prepared it already, but you guys are gonna see the full effect once we get home and cook that thing up. But the day is not over. The current is moving, the fish are around, and it is absolutely beautiful down there. Nice clear viz. Let's hope that something comes into these flashers. Get to that new spot, and let's see what there is to see. We are just bouncing around from spot to spot, really hoping we get on something. Like I said, I just have that yellowtail so far, but maybe a bigger fish would be super beneficial. Again, we're hoping for pelagics. You know, this spot, it's not as deep, but we're still rocking the flashers anyways, as you saw from before. start heading down to this rubble pile. And usually I decide to dive whenever I start seeing all the bait. I'm kind of scanning, looking around, hovering a little bit. I could go down to the bottom, but whenever there's current, I don't like sticking on the bottom too long, especially because my buddy diver just keeps drifting with the current and the jet ski and all that stuff. So I make sure that I'm kind of just hovering a little bit, not worth sitting on the bottom, especially in this area, doing a ton of grunting, and it ends up bringing in a nice fish. So that is an amberjack, and I know he's going to give me a good look because he comes in all chill, and I take my time, make sure I land a stone shot, and that's exactly what happens. Makes it so much easier because you'll see later in this video, little foreshadowing, absolute chaos happens. So stay tuned for that, but this is exactly what you want to have happen, and now I get to share that surprise I was talking about earlier with you guys once I get this guy on the jet ski. Yeah, dude. That's awesome, dude. We got some meat. Woo! Put that cooler, put that fish bag to use. Hell yeah. Yeah. Hey, yes, sir. Oi, 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 oi. There we go. Now we're talking. All right, you guys, we are in the meat, boy. You got a nice amberjack, but one of the surprises I wanted to show you guys and share with you is this sick fish bag that I got from Buffalo Gear. It is the truth. It's what I've been using all these years, and I just got an upgrade. Look at this thing, packed in, super small and tight like this. A button, and look. Hey, we got some room for some fish, boy. Woo! Look at that. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll on my GoPro head GoPro. You can see what I do for this whole setup and how I set it up on the jet ski, but I'm gonna show you how I deal with the fish on the ski, make sure we preserve them and have the highest quality possible with such minimal resources right here. All right, so what we're gonna do, this is absolutely perfect. I think we'll go right here, and I'll actually probably use half of it, just like this. I had a problem with fish bag earlier that it wasn't big enough. This will be perfect. Let me go ahead and get my over and over. Just stick it in the fish bag like that. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect my. Get this situated. Now I have this cooler. I already have that yellowtail, and I'm just gonna ice down everything. Oh, Jake's after something. Oh yeah? Alright, and then I got some salt water. I'm gonna pour it all in there. I'm gonna give it a nice brine. Nice little slush, and it'll be ice, ice, ice cold. Now, zip her on up, and we ride out. And also, if you're interested in these things, promo code Jack or link will be in the description below. Get yourself one of these kill bags. They have multiple different sizes. They have a bunch of different options, and it is the truth. These things are high quality, and I am so excited to be working with this company, and they support the channel. And as you know, if you need something like this, highly suggest it. I'm going to use it on my upcoming Bahamas trips. All right, ready to rock and roll. Got the whole fish bag strapped on. I have a little strap strapping it to the back, and it just rides nice and neatly right next to us. let's make another drift, see if we can get into some more fish. We get back in the water and we're back to another drift, and we're just bouncing around to this, you know, kind of 60-foot range, different spots, different rubble piles all along the coast. And you really don't know what you're going to come across, and this is a prime example. This is absolutely hilarious. As I make this drop, a beautiful, beautiful sea creature comes in, but I have to kind of check him because I don't know what he had in mind. Look at this loggerhead turtle just cruising in. I think it might be mating season and he had the wrong idea. Bop him in the head. Not very hard. I almost didn't even mean to, but he kind of just came right into me. Again, a lot of life on this drop, kind of off in the distance, but really nothing that entices me to shoot it. But I head to the surface. Jake decides to go ahead and make a drop, and it's awesome because we end up buddy diving and we land a fish because we are buddy diving really well. So go ahead and check this out. As after I head up on this dive, Jake makes a drop, and stay tuned to see what he pops. Now I'm right next to Jake on this dive. He goes down, he actually sees multiple fish that are shooter fish. And again, you see the bait that he kind of decided to make a drop. So once he saw that bait, he just went ahead and duck dove. And as he was making his way towards the bottom, he sees a smaller cubera snapper. And it's kind of off in the distance, but I didn't know that cubera was there, so I grunted because I saw that yellowjack cruising around him. He's kind of thought the cubera was a little small, kind of a long shot. So safe bet was that yellowjack. So now he's definitely not going hungry. We have the amberjack to smoke to have extra fish afterwards. And this is not where it ends. We could definitely get more fish from this point on. Check him on in. Sir. Prime time, bro. All right, you guys, that was unreal. Every drift we're shooting something. So, but that's a prime example why you guys want to make sure you're buddy diving, especially because I was at the surface, Jake was down below, he didn't see that yellowjack coming in, he was fixated on a cubera, which I had no idea, but I grunted it to him from the surface, and he was able to know something was around, so he put his head on a swivel, saw the fish, lined up the shot, rocked him, and that is another fish in the bag just because of epic buddy diving. So make sure you guys are out there doing the exact same thing. Shout out to Jack! Yes, sir! All right, time to get back in. Maybe this or one more drift. Well, I don't know, we'll see what happens. It is getting super late. We're still getting after it. We're still trying to dive this sunset. That's why I call it a sunset mission. And as I head down to the bottom, you know, we're just bouncing to different spots. I head down towards this rubble. And there was a ton of life, a ton of bait. And on this dive, I see all these barracuda. And just beyond the barracuda, towards the end of my dive, I see a nice black grouper. And unfortunately, it's not a nice one. It ends up being really like borderline and not worth me shooting it. I just went ahead and got back from the Keys. I got plenty of black grouper. So I figured, you know what, if this is a local fish, I'm just going to let them swim. It makes me sad because there's probably, you know, somebody out there that will take a shot at this or will keep this fish. But in my opinion, way too close to, you know, pull the trigger. He might have been legal, but again, he was borderline, not worth the risk, and I'd just rather let him grow. When we do another drift and something crazy pops out, we were not expecting this at all. Borderline black. Borderline black. It might have been legal. Not worth it though for me. This is Jake's GoPro. We hopped in on a little deeper spot. A huge school of African pompano come cruising under me. Jake threw his throw flasher, started grunting, and he starts hitting the gas on one of these APs, lines up the shot, and for some reason his gun muzzle wrapped. So he heads to the surface and tries to suss out the situation. Bro, what'd you do?
Huh?
What'd you do?
Yeah, look, the same thing happened again.
Muzzle wrapped?
Huh.
So we really don't know what happened to Jake's gun. I kind of took a look at it, and then immediately I saw something buzz around the flashers. I made a quick drop, did a ton of grunting. I don't know if it was an AP or an Amberjack, but if it was an Amberjack, I was definitely going to take another shot on one because we need enough fish to fill the smoker. There was an Amberjack off in the distance, started doing a ton of grunting, and I'm just letting this thing come to me. If I was kind of chasing it around or anything, there's little to no chance this guy's gonna come in, so I just sit there, do a ton of grunting, look off in the distance, waiting for this Amberjack to come cruising in, get down to 55 as I'm just free falling, descending, hoping for the stone shot, and do not get it. And it starts becoming a battle. I'm pulling to the surface, and as this is happening, my calves start to cramp. Both calves cramp. I don't want to let them out because I don't want them to get tangled on the bottom. Jake immediately comes down, gives me a hand just to get to the surface, and as I look down, a freaking Goliath is chasing my fish up. And I'm just screaming at the surface. Jake just beelines it, pokes this fish away, and that thing was it was probably like a 300 or 400 pounder. It was a monster Goliath grouper. Thank God he didn't get this thing in his jaws. You guys, that is what you call effective diving. So another AJ. Yeah, bro, look at that moon. Look at the moon. Moon is up. We're still getting it. Jake's still in the water, but we're getting after it. Look at this. Oh gosh. Look at this. We got a nice brine of some beautiful fish in there. And then this guy is gonna go in there too. Honestly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reapply ice, get that nice and cold before we go in and do some filleting. I might wait till the morning to do it because it is getting late. I want to make sure you guys have a good viewpoint of this. But we're gonna send it in. We gotta pack up. The ski does not have lights, so we gotta hurry and get in. See you guys at the dock, or I'll see you at home while we fillet these fish up. And I have a nice treat for you guys. Catch and cook coming at you. Don't go anywhere. All right, so I did already handle that fish in the water, but I do want to show you a little bit of cleaning. So we got one of these AJs.
Look how nicely made that bag is, though.
Bro, that thing is actually like legit.
That is very nice. That is wild.
That is like the cheapest bag I could find on the market, and I've been using them for years. So right here, you can feel like the gill plate right through here. You want to go right behind it. And this is going to be it's a bigger fish. So there's a different way you want to fillet this. Not like just a normal snapper. So, but you do it the same where you go up that, you go straight down, and then turn the knife inside out, and you just work the top side. Yeah, you have to work the top side of that spine. And you don't want to go through the spine. And this kind of gives you that first incision, so you're cutting inside out, so you're not worried about dulling your knife on the skin. And then you just work the backbone all the way. I'm gonna call my dad, tell him to fire up the smoker. We will see how many worms are in here. I see some. Usually they congregate towards the tail. I don't know why, but AJs just have worms. Working our way down. You gotta cut through the pin bones. You hear them like, ready? You know? You're like, there's some pin bones in there. But you'll handle those later. Could have done a better job on that.
Oh, you're doing all right.
Yeah.
It's hard because they got such a thick spine. It's hard to come back down over. There it is. There they are.
So I'm gonna go
eat
like
that right there.
I'm gonna go like roughly where those worms start. Cut them out so we don't have to mess with them. So it's like just that little area of the tail, and then you have this beautiful fillet. So you do that same thing to the other side, and then this is also what you'll do to the other side. So they do, even though we blend them, they still do have a little bit of a bloodline. So whenever you have this, just like you would do like a bigger fish, you cut it in sections. So that'll be the size of the fillet. This will be the size of another fillet. And you just don't cut it all the way to the skin, through the skin. You cut it just to where the knife rides the skin a little bit. And probably like that. Yeah. All right, then what you'll do, you cut it, so it's not all the way down, you cut it straight down the spine, and then you kind of fillet along the skin out. Like that. All right, so you don't get that little bloodline, and then you're left with these nice, beautiful nuggets, and you can see the rainbow.
Try to get it different.
I don't know if you can see it. You can see it.
Trying to get the light on there different.
But there's like little marble.
Right there, right there.
It's like marbling rainbow. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
That's oil. That's fish oil. So whenever you have a fish that has a lot of fish oil, it's really good to smoke it because that oil retains that smoke flavor, and it just makes the fish so much better. It makes it more moist, so it won't dry out. Because if you smoke a hogfish or something like that, it's like pure white meat, won't cook up and smoke up as good as this. So rule of thumb, this isn't going to be a smoke video, so there is going to be one of those in the future. And if you haven't seen another one of those smoking fish videos, check out my other videos. But we are going to cruise back home. Oh, and you basically do this the whole way. We're going to cruise back home, and I'm going to cook up that yellowtail, so do not go anywhere. You're not going to miss it. Let's go.
What he forgot to say is he smokes fish in every video.
I do smoke them. I smoke them hard, bro. All right, bag boy.
I'm on it.
We are back, not at my house, but we're actually at my parents' house. I'm gonna do this cook up. It's gonna be a little old-fashioned way, and it's gonna be anybody set up basically so anybody could do it if you have an oven at your house. I was gonna cook it whole, but I had a little bit of ideas from my dad, and we're gonna get a little fancy with it. I filleted one side of the yellowtail, and now it's already scaled. It's ready to go as is. So we have this baking sheet, laid everything down, skinned down, and I just filleted one side of that fish. We went ahead and put both sides of both pieces of fish, seasoned. Honestly, you can use anything you have at home, your favorite seafood blend, but we used some Old Bay, and then some seafood blend, and then some salt. And we did that with both sides. Now we add some Worcestershire sauce. A nice healthy amount. I love some Worcestershire sauce.
I typically would have cut this across.
Yeah, the other way.
Yeah.
You get onions and cut them as thin as you can. And then when you put them on, you just put them right here. And then the next ingredient is thinly sliced pieces of tomato. You want me to bring them over?
Yeah.
All right. The ingredients on top keeps the fish moist, and it also cooks everything into the fish. I'm excited. I've never done this. Dad has done it, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, he's done it. So 400. We'll check it at like 20 minutes.
Yeah, see what it looks like. Maybe put the Parmesan on, then maybe give it another 10 minutes.
Yeah, my mom is cooking something. What's that?
Kale.
Kale, fresh kale. I gave her a raised garden bed, and she ended up cooking some fresh home organic kale. She blended it all up. What is that? Cream cheese, onions,
garlic.
Oh, so it's like
Heavy
cream
cream.
cream of kale.
That's right.
Okay. All right, sweet. So we got some veggies to go with it.
Exactly.
Smoked fish.
Yeah.
This is actually the AJ we got. So we already smoked it, and my dad already made some dip out of it. And then on another trip, I got a nice mutton, and that was opening a grouper. We got grouper, we got mutton, we got a bunch of stuff on that trip. But that is on another episode.
Leftovers from Mother's Day.
Yeah, all leftovers from Mother's Day. But yeah, this is gonna be so good. All right, we're gonna throw that in the oven. We're gonna take a look at it when it's finished, and I'm taking you with me. Don't go anywhere. I'm curious to see what it's gonna turn out like, and I'm sure you guys are pretty curious at home too. All right, so it's been in the oven for 20 minutes. We just pulled it out. It is looking really good. It's smelling really good. Oh, there went my alarm. Grated Parmesan cheese on it. Look at that. And we're gonna throw it back in, probably for like another 5 to 10 minutes.
5 minutes probably.
Yeah, we'll do 5 minutes. Should be cooked all the way through, fingers crossed. We didn't overcook it. I don't think we'll be able to overcook it. It'll be a little harder because it has all that stuff on top of it. All right, I'm gonna try some of my mom's first. She has the best piece out there. So I wanna just give it a true test so where I can, in this way I can have everything. I can try everything. So I have a little bit right here, a little bite. I don't wanna take all of her stuff. They're pretty good. That's really good. I would probably put a little more Worcestershire over all of it next time.
Over all of it.
But we're gonna have to pick through that. I'm not gonna bore you with that. We're gonna, you know, kind of just use our fingers and work around the whole thing. But meat usually tastes better when it's cooked off the bone like that, because it just something about it retains a little bit of moisture. But either way, this was absolutely delicious. I'm thanking my dad for showing me the way. And if you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and comment below, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of the offshore jet ski missions. If you enjoy those, let me know if you want to keep seeing more. And also, if you really want to support the channel, do me a favor, become a YouTube member. That's the best way to support. I have guys out there already doing it. I absolutely love those legends. But thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you all next week for another adventure. Later.